Welcome, everybody, to the Garlet's High Performance Garage channel. And it's going to be a cold start Sunday. I'm going to go outside and start some cars that haven't ran for about 2 weeks. One is my everyday runner, which is my everyday sitter now, because I have to put an intake on it, which is the Mercury Grand Marquis. I'm waiting on the intake to come. I got it off Evil Bay. About $100 for the intake. And it's that plastic fucking junk with the aluminum crossover pipe. It's more or less the recall intake that they were putting on the older ones that had the plastic antifreeze crossover in the front for the thermostat housing and everything. They were all plastic. Everything was plastic on the earlier ones. I'd say probably late 90s, late 90s. They had a recall. They were replacing the intake and putting the one with the aluminum passage on it with the thermostat housing. But but as you can, I'm not going to show it to you, but mine already has the aluminum passage, and it's still melted. It either melted or cracked or something, but there's antifreeze pouring out of it. I'm going to go ahead and start it up and start up the Crown Vic out here. And yes, I have COVID. Great. Everybody here's pissed off at me. They're like, oh, it's because you went to the Legion Wednesday night. That's what made you get it. I'm not going to sit here and argue and say how I got it, how I didn't get it, because I don't know. Symptoms usually don't show up until you've had it for at least 5 to 10 days, usually. And Friday, I started feeling ill. So my chest started getting heavy. I started coughing. And I knew right then, yep, I got something. And then it started off like a sinus infection, headache, runny nose, burning eyes, sneezing, shit like that. Don't really have an appetite, which will benefit me pretty good. I was supposed to have Thanksgiving dinner at my mother's house yesterday, but I told them I was sick, and they're elderly, and she's setting up a COVID test kit. Plus, my sister had already had it 2 weeks ago. Well, about a week ago, she had it, and they were waiting for her to test negative so she could come to dinner. So it was last minute, so I couldn't go to dinner yesterday. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go out here and start up these cars. And had to repair my Duraflame cabinet heater. Wires were melting. The one that comes in the ground, or the hot side that comes in on the plug of that heater, started melting for some reason. I think it was part of the little light in there that shows the fake flame. I ripped all that shit out of there. Took the light bulb out, unhooked that completely, trimmed up the black wire, or the power wire coming in. I trimmed it up, took all the melty bullshit off of it, got back to some good wire, and then I went ahead and reconnected it. After I pulled the insulation off of it, I reconnected it with the other white wires that was with it. And I turned it on, and no more stink, no more burny burn, no more fucking extreme fucking heat other than what's coming out of the bottom. You see it's all red there in the bottom. So, went ahead and did that. There's the flame, the fake flame thing, little wheel right there. All that does is turn and reflects that light back and forth on the background. And that was covering the switches. I'm just going to throw that stuff in the junk because it's garbage. Have we all became like, I don't know, big mouth bass? Because big mouth bass are attracted to shiny things. That's how you catch them, with a shiny lure. You don't even have to bait it. You just throw it in there, nice spinner, and you'll catch a big mouth bass because they're stupid. Oh, because they're stupid. It's like a big fat refrigerator out here already. I'm going to go ahead and fire this bitch up. This has got a throttle body injection on it. That's about 20 degrees out, or 18 degrees, something like that. Starts pretty easy. Ooh. Sounds like it has a rough auto cam. How does a throttle body injector fuel load up? It's just shaking back and forth like it's really got a bad gas cam in it. Had people kind of scratch their head and look at this car and think, oh man, that thing's badass. There's something hiding under the hood. A bunch of people, I had people ask me if there was a coyote motor underneath the hood. And I was like, fuck no. It's a stock 302. I think it's quite hilarious. What it does need is a cam and heads and an intake. Put a 4-barrel carburetor on it and headers, aluminum heads, State Street camshaft. Oh yeah. That old girl there would be badass. Along with that shift kit I got for it. I'll get to it one of these days. I don't think I'll pull the engine out. I'll probably just do all that stuff to it with the engine in there. That's how we all used to do it around here anyhow. Back when my grandfather was alive, that's how he did it. He didn't do the main bearings, he did the rod bearings. And he'd re-ring them, hone the cylinders, put them back together while they were still in the car. Have the head done someplace. Yeah, old 6 cylinders. Well, let's start this thing. It ain't been started for about 2 weeks. I hope it's still going to run. Bing, 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 bing. There it goes. Start the truck, but it don't have a battery. Damn shocks don't want to stay up on it. I guess it's because it's cold. You see her down there where it's leaking. All that trash. I'm gonna have to pull off here. I may have to put a set of hood shocks on this bitch. Well, we'll have it up and going here before I know it. Just gotta wait on the parts. That's all. I'll give you all a peek at this motor. It ain't got no heat. Heater core is shot. I need to put a heater core in this one. That'll be fun. So I gotta take the dash apart for that. Well, clutch fan sure does throw the fucking air. Yeah, it's an emissions nightmare under here. And yes, it has cruise control. put the other steering wheel back on it, it'll work. I have to hook the wire back up. And the steering wheel, it's got all the switches in it for cruise control, but I'm not real interested in the cruise control part. I don't really care about that. Took all the insulation out from under the hood on there because it was hanging down. I thought it was going to catch on fire. So they get kind of quiet as they get to idling up. This one here, it's real quiet. It's not real bad. It's the drone inside when you're driving it down the road. I have a set of glass packs on it. The one's from Surplus City. Just wanted to make sure they started, because this has the Mercury has a theft deterrent system on it, so you have to make sure it runs. Go. There we go. Got her. I'm in trouble with that door handle. I think I might have to replace it. So, anyway. Whew. It does feel a little warmer in here. Might just be me from being out there in that fucking cold. Let's see what it is, shall we? Oh, it's the same. Well, it's a little warmer than what it was. Feels like it is anyhow. Yeah. Okay, everybody. And that's all I got. Here's the fake log. It was in that heater. It's a fake log. Condensation from my nose has my mustache all wet. So, anyway, it was kind of a productive Sunday this morning. Trying to keep my ears unclogged and all that other good stuff. More or less what I'm thinking, that COVID is more or less a severe congestion of some kind. You know, I mean, some people get like a pneumonia symptoms from it. I got a ways to go. This is only day 2 that I've had it. So it could go either way. It can go worse or I can get better. I feel better today. I I don't feel so feverish. Last night, I got cold. Sitting there, I had the heater all cranked and blowing on me. I thought I was going to freeze to death. I just couldn't get warm. Friday night, same deal. Just couldn't get warm. I had a hell of a time staying warm. And then after you did warm up, it's like you were on fire. It's like your tops of your legs is burning. Your fucking head was burning. Your ears were on fire. Shit like that. That's what I'm experiencing. The congestion is like nasal congestion. My ear isn't hurting or anything. Usually they'll hurt. I haven't really had earaches in my life. I just started recently getting those. So, yeah, my wife's all pissed off that I got this because she has a concert Friday she wants to go see, and it's out of town. And she's like, I wasn't going out anywhere for the last 2 weeks because I really wanted to go to this concert. That's why I stayed home this weekend. I was like, okay, well, we'll just see if you get it or not. And you'll have to go to the pharmacy and get a fucking test. Test yourself. Buy a bunch of them. Test yourself. I'm going to need a few because about Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to test myself again. If I test negative, the thing is though, if you do test negative, you still can carry it on you for like 2 weeks or something like that. You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that the COVID is fake. It is real. But there's some shit about it they're not telling us about. They're keeping information from us on purpose. Because it's all about those richest elites wanting to thin the population of the United States and demasculate the United States. They can come in and take over. And they can turn the U.S. into their playground. They can keep you under their thumb. They have a hard-on for that for some reason. For ruling over people, you know, like a dictator. You know, like Hitler or Stalin or one of those. And all this congestion and stuff is going to keep me from lifting weights and taking my supplements. Because I might as well not even take those. They'll just, my body being torn down like it is, it'll just, you'd just be wasting your time taking stuff. So I've been taking a leave every 8 hours or so. I'll take 1 or 2 Aleve tablets. They actually keep your fever in check. But you got to watch those. Because if you have any kind of heart issues, they recommend you not take that. Because it's pretty powerful. It's the only pain reliever that works on me. That's over the counter. I don't like oxycodone or anything like that. I don't like that shit. That stuff for muscle relaxers. That stuff makes you so groggy and high as fuck. And it's like you have jet lag. So I've never flown, but I have an idea what jet lag feels like. And I would say it's probably a goddamn muscle relaxer the next day. That shit is fucking terrible. Fucking junk. But leave it to these assholes. They want to take us out. They are afraid of Generation X because the baby boomers, they're all retired and they don't have a lot of say of what goes on anymore in the country. As far as citizens go. Now, there's a whole bunch of them in office. I'm not saying they're all horrible, but some of them are just too fucking old. That's why we need term limits. Keep these people in check. Need term limits. Each senator and congressman should only be allowed to serve a total of 8 years. 4 years apiece. And that's it. Then they shouldn't be able to hold any more political offices. Maybe a governor or a mayor. something like that. Governors and mayors, same deal. 8 years, you're done. Get the fuck out. Let the next guy try. Presidency, 8 years. Next. But I tell you, it's crazy how they're trying to strip down the Constitution. And it's pretty much annihilate society and do away with the middle class. And Joe Biden Joe Biden, Barack Obama are trying to demasculate us. They're trying to defund the middle class. They're trying to make it so there's rich and poor, and that's it. And the poor have to rely on the rich to make it. And the people that need put away are as follows. George Soros, number one, he's the big head honcho of this. Elon Musk is another one. He needs put away. Barack Obama needs put away. Al Gore, the Clintons, Warren Buffett. There's whole bunches of them. There's big rich elites, Oprah Winfrey, Dwayne Johnson. He's tied up Oprah's ass here lately for some reason. I guess he's just following money. But there's a whole bunch. Bill Gates. It's a big one I forgot about. Bill Gates. He is a piece of shit, that guy. He has way too much fucking money. They all have way too much money. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to get money. But these people are corrupting everything. They're taking everything and twisting it into their little bunches of fucking shit. Trying to control you. Trying to take you out. Bill Gates and Soros, they're both trying to eliminate us as much as they can. They're trying to take us all out. And it's horrible. But I can tell you, these people are not coming for me. And they're not going to take they're not going to take everything I got. And what else is funny is Kamala Harris and her husband posted a big thing on Facebook, on social media, Twitter, whatever. We're saying, oh, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. When you look down, what do they use in their house? Gas stove. Gas stoves are dangerous. They're dangerous for us. You middle class fucks, get that gas stove out of your house. It'll kill you. You have a gas leak and you'll die. But it's okay for those rich assholes to have a gas stove, though. That means that they're supposed to have it and you're not. You're supposed to have electric. Of course, I do have electric because that's what I've always liked, is electric stoves. I had a gas stove in my trailer here and it was horrible. And the place I was getting the propane off of, they were shafting me every chance they got. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. The only good thing about the gas stove is when your power went out, you can still cook. You can still heat your place with it. That's what I would do. I would just heat the fucking house with it. And those assholes, they would give me tanks. It was half full. And I'd run out. It would take me a month to run through one tank. I would order 2 tanks. I'd have one there. And then when the other one go empty, I'd hook up the other one. And I'd call them. I'd say, hey, replace my tank. I'll leave money in an envelope on my door. Just come and replace the tank. Take the money. Of course, that's they did that. They started shafting me by only filling the tanks halfway because it was only lasting 2 weeks. the tanks. They were them great big ones, too. They were going to last me 2 weeks. I was like, come on now. You got to stop that. So then I got pissed off. I bought an electric stove, and I told him to come down there and get them fucking tanks before, I brought them up there and shoved them up their fucking ass. So they came and got them. And then they blamed me for all kinds of shit that was wrong with them. Oh, there's stuff wrong with these tanks. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, it ain't my fucking problem. You're the one that brought them down and set them up. You set them right outside. Right there where the snow falls on them off my roof. So, who's the idiot here? You. But yeah, I had a gas line running in there, and yeah, fuck. I took it off and I pinched it shut. I think it's like hanging underneath there somewhere. I really don't give a fuck where it is, because I don't use it anymore. So, my parents, they have gas stove. They swear by it. They love it. They cook on it. They love it. Which, that's fine. But if I ever, for some reason, get in that house, I will change it back to electric. That's just what I like. I just like it. I mean, you have to light a pilot. When you install a tank, you have to light a pilot. You have to turn it on. I mean, you can smell it. But, Anyway, everybody. Be careful out there. Of course, the government released COVID again, which I'm proof of. I'm trying to take us out. If you're a really weak immune system, you have a really weak immune system there, it's going to take you down. Mine's pretty fucking strong because I don't go to the doctor a lot. I don't take a lot of antibiotics unless I'm really, really bad. I'll go get some. Other than that, some of them antibiotics, man, some of them will hurt you. I have a neighbor that a tree fell on him. Fucked his leg all up. They fixed his leg. He was recovering. He got real sick and had to go back. Had an infection. Had to go back to the hospital. They put him on a real strong antibiotic to take care of that infection, and it ravaged his body. It took his kidneys out. Now, that makes you sit and wonder. The guy he's like 70, couple. If that isn't somebody trying to take you out, I don't know what is. But they gave him that antibiotic and turn around and his kidneys fail. Now he's got to go get dialysis every week. And it's like, God, this poor fucking guy. He just can't make it. They're constantly beating him down. He's a small business owner. He's had his small business forever. His sons have taken it over. But him, he's so out of it, he doesn't even come out of his house anymore. Kidney dialysis really takes it out of you. And the older you are, the rougher it is on you. More or less, you all know what dialysis is. It just cleans your blood. It's a machine that runs your blood. They run your blood out through the machine. It cleans it, pumps it back into you. And then, because of that, it really takes you a long time to recover. It takes you a couple of days to recover from it. Now, a guy like me, it would probably take me about 2-3 days to recover from it. Somebody like him, it'd take him a week. Just because of his age. And I really feel for him. I hate to see that shit happen to him. Because really got to know him here the last 20 years. We're pretty close as far as that goes. And I hate to see something like that happen to him. He's a really good guy. But that's just Big Pharma trying to take you out. That's all that is. That, these other organizations. I don't want to say because in Walmart, YouTube will take my shit down. They told me, they threatened me. You don't have a strike yet. You'll get one. Well, bring it on, bitches. I'll just start up another account. That's all. I'll just have to lose those old videos, that's all. I'll just start up another account. I'll call it Gorlitz High Performance Garage 2. That's what I'll call it. Fuck them. They can suck on my fucking nuts for all I give a fuck. They can all eat me. Anyway, I better go back in and get in my hole because I need to go in and rest up for work tomorrow. And I know I'm not going to get to touch anything in the refrigerator or in the kitchen or laundry or anything like that. So, everybody, do not mask up. I think if we all get this COVID in our system a couple times, we'll build a nice strong immunity to it and it won't bother us. It's sad that that's become the norm, but I think they're just setting it out there for us. Because it didn't have it. For all that period of time, didn't have it. Didn't have it for a couple years. I did get that Johnson & Johnson vaccine back in 20. I did get it. I didn't feel a difference. I didn't feel anything. I even got the booster the next year. 21, I got the booster. Didn't feel any different. I was never sick until about 2 months ago. It was the first cold I got since that so-called pandemic began. Now, every time I turn around now, hey, nobody's getting sick. So, here we are. Need to go blow my nose. So, everybody, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you like them cold starts. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Hate doing the same ones over and over and over. I mean, everybody loves this Chevelle, but Jesus Christ. Doing that same one over and over is just redundant. So, here we go. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next on the next one. Here we go. Look at it. It's so sweet. Oh.